Tonight on Citrus TV News, a new online tool to keep track of your degree requirements. We'll tell you how it works.
Plus, a stampede at a train station in Mumbai leaves 22 dead and many more injured. What may have led to the tragedy?
Last week it became fall, and now it feels like it. It's also starting to drizzle. I'll let you know what to expect for temperatures over the next few days and for rain or sun. Stay tuned for my full weather forecast. Your campus news leader, Citrus TV, starts right now.
Now, Citrus TV News live at 6 starts with breaking news.
New details on the mumps cases across campus. Health Services says 4 people have now contracted the virus. Good evening, I'm Josh Rosenblatt.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. In order to contain the outbreak, the Onondaga County Health Department is ordering students who have not received a mumps vaccine to leave campus by Monday.
While the majority of students are vaccinated, 17 students have not submitted vaccination records, mostly due to religious observances.
This move follows state law designed to protect the health of everyone on campus. Tonight, we can confirm that the Delta Tau Delta fraternity at Syracuse University is shutting down due to hazing allegations.
The brothers living in the DTD house have 2 weeks to move out and find somewhere else to live after the fraternity's national organization voted to close down the chapter last week. In August, the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs received an anonymous report about a hazing incident that happened at DELT last spring.
Following the report, all chapter activities were suspended. Brothers did put together a plan to reform the chapter, but those efforts were shut down when the national organization voted to close the chapter. Details of the hazing incident have not been released. The university is working to find housing for the men.
The brothers can appeal the decision in January at their national conference. Until then, members will be given early alumni status.
Criminal offenses on campus are on the rise. DPS released its annual safety and security report today. It shows an increase in reported rapes, stalking, and burglary cases. The number of on-campus rapes in 2016 was 12 compared to 8 in 2015. On-campus burglaries also increased from 33 to 40. For the full report, visit dps.syr.edu. The Student Advisory Council is looking for new applicants. This group of students will have the chance to provide recommendations related to student life. Past topics include campus safety, diversity, and dining services. Undergraduate, graduate, and law students alike can serve on the board, and for more information, go to syr.edu. One thing students always stress about is degree requirements. Well, now there is an online program designed to help students stay on track for graduation. Citrus TV reporter Zachary Levine has the details.
SU launched DegreeWorks this summer, which allows students to track their academic success online.
It's a web-based tool that will be helping students and their advisors to remain on track for graduation.
Many of the academic advisors here at Syracuse still think DegreeWorks isn't perfect and that students should still be seeking out academic support in person.
It's also just basically going to allow students to kind of come in with better questions. So a student's going to have to be more accountable and responsible for understanding their requirements.
While many students don't know anything about the site yet, some that do haven't had the most user-friendly experience.
I think it's interesting. I think it's a little bit hard to navigate, but overall I like the concept of being able to see what I still need to do to graduate.
Not doing away with the academic advisors, and certainly not doing away with faculty advisors, but kind of just giving them another tool to use. But during registration time, the nice thing will be is that you can actually do and look at and see how your classes that you're registering for the next semester will actually play through into your requirements.
The tool also provides them the ability to do what we call a what-if request. So if they're thinking about changing their major or their minor, they can do that without affecting their program.
DegreeWorks is an ever-changing product, and many of its kinks are still being worked out. Zachary Levine, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Zach. DegreeWorks can be accessed on students' MySlice accounts under Advising.
The Jazz at Citrus series begins tonight at the Sheridan. Jazz singer Nancy Kelly is set to take the stage at any minute to pay tribute to local jazz singer Mark Murphy. This is the 7th year the music series has been held at the Sheridan's Cocktail Lounge, Citrus on the Hill, featuring a different performance each month. Each event is free and open to the public. A Syracuse man is accused of raping a child under the age of 11. Syracuse police arrested Timothy Widger Sr. with rape in the first degree. Police say that Widger and the victim knew each other before the incident. The alleged rape occurred in the Washington Square area. This year, the growing season for local farmers has been pretty confusing. Cool and rainy weather in the summer that turned into 90-degree heat in September. CitrusTV reporter Connor Federico learned how farmers are adjusting.
The sun shines down on Syracuse's east side, radiating 90-degree temperatures on local vendors and customers at the Westcott Farmers Market. It sounds like a normal Wednesday in July or August, but actually, summer's been over for more than a week now. And that puts a smile on the faces of central New York farmers.
Greens and stuff are able to grow longer. We get more of a return on our money.
Temperatures have skyrocketed since late September. On average, Syracuse's first week of fall brings in highs in the mid-70s. This year, your thermometer has been touching 90 degrees. And as the heat gets higher, the crowds get bigger.
When the weather's nice, there's always more people.
While the weird temperatures here in central New York this summer actually favor some of the local growers and their crops, one of the most popular items here, apples, are actually negatively affected by the warm temperatures.
Apples don't like real hot weather. They'd rather have cooler weather for growing.
Tripp says that all the heat makes the apples ripe faster, which advances the picking schedule.
So what we should be picking maybe 2 weeks from now is probably ready to be picked now.
So the time that you might have started your apple picking last year could be the end of the season this year. So go get them while you can, Central New York. Reporting for CitrusTV News, I'm Connor Federico.
With all of the high heat in recent weeks, local vendors can stay open later into the year. Farmers markets like the one on the corner of Westcott and Euclid Avenues plan on doing business every Wednesday until Thanksgiving. Well, the heat wave in Syracuse seems to have ended for now.
That's right. It was a lot cooler out today, and students are breaking out the fall wardrobe. But will it last? David Edelstein is outside.
Thanks, guys. I'm outside the studio right now, and looking at this video taken earlier today on campus, just a beautiful day of fall in Syracuse. Now, there are some clouds moving in. Those are some incoming thunderstorms that will take place on and off this evening. Winds are increasing, 6-mile-per-hour winds, 9-mile-per-hour gusts. This past heat wave that Syracuse experienced didn't have one wind that was over 5 miles an hour. Now, it is starting to drizzle outside, and taking a look at some of the temperatures in the area, 60 degrees in Syracuse right now, 64 degrees is the high in Elmira, and high 50s around the surrounding area. Now, will these temperatures keep getting lower, or will summer come back for one last hit as fall begins and temperatures will rise? I'll let you know in my full weather forecast back in the studio. Back to you guys.
After the break, why the U.S. is pulling embassy staff from Cuba and warning against travel to the country.
And in India, a stampede at a train station during rush hour leaves more than 20 dead and dozens injured. CitrusTV News will be right back.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Here's your check.
You got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Rebekah Castor, Josh Rosenblatt, and David Edelstein with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
Some breaking news for you. Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price resigned today. Price is currently being investigated over his use of private jets for business trips, costing more than $1 million in taxpayer money. Price is the latest departure from the Trump administration. The U.S. is warning against travel to Cuba and cutting more than half of its embassy staff due to apparent attacks on U.S. personnel. About a year ago, diplomats started reporting health problems, including brain injuries and hearing loss. Investigators don't know what or who is behind the injuries. The embassy will also stop issuing visas to Cubans indefinitely. This decision is a setback to Cuba and U.S. diplomatic relations that were restored in 2015.
It's Banned Books Week in the U.S., and schools across the nation are celebrating the freedom to read, including students here at Syracuse University. Citrus TV reporter Sabrina Maggiore has the full story.
Of Mice and Men, Looking for Alaska, The Kite Runner, and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. These are just some of the most commonly banned books of 2016. Every year, hundreds of books are challenged and banned from libraries and schools throughout the U.S., and Banned Books Week is intended to draw attention to that.
I think that many people aren't aware that books are still banned and challenged in America today. We think everything is free and that we have all this freedom, but that's not so.
At Syracuse University, Banned Books Week brings together a community that supports the freedom to express ideas. The African American Studies Department commemorated this freedom by hosting its 6th annual Black and Banned Read-In.
What this event does is shed light to the fact that although America has been founded on things like this, these fundamentals, we also historically contradict what we're founded upon.
But it's not just about reading the books. The event takes on a deeper meaning.
In African American history, there's a particular significance because literacy and reading have always been critical to African American history, people of African descent in the United States, since slaves were not allowed to learn to read.
Because me, as a black person, my ancestors, they weren't allowed to read. You know, when you think back about slavery and the fact that you try to deprive knowledge of people, we cannot go back that way. So it's very important. Literacy is important, freedom, all those things, and we each need to do our part to make sure that it still exists in this country, across the world.
Sabrina Maggiore, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Sabrina. Banned Books Weeks was created in 1982 by the American Library Association to bring awareness to book censorship throughout America. 22 people are dead and more than 30 others are injured following a stampede at a train station in Mumbai. Witnesses say people were seeking shelter from heavy rain, overcrowding a footbridge and causing many to slip and fall. Commuters have asked for an additional bridge to be built to handle the large crowds, but authorities have ignored their pleas. Over 2,000 people have died so far this year in accidents on Mumbai's train network.
The UN says more than 60 people are dead or missing after a ship carrying Rohingya Muslims fleeing persecution in Myanmar capsized on its way to Bangladesh. 23 people are confirmed dead, but authorities are still searching the waters. After the military clashes started last month, more than 500,000 Rohingya have fled to Bangladesh. Student protests continue in Barcelona in support of an independence referendum in Catalonia. The Spanish government in Madrid is trying to stop the vote that is planned to take place on Sunday. Spain says the vote is unconstitutional, and overnight Spanish civil guards seized 3 million paper ballots. Catalonia makes up about a fifth of Spain's economy, and the region has tried to gain independence in the past, most recently in 2014.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
It's finally feeling like fall in Syracuse, but with this fall weather, it's bringing some rain.
David Edelstein is here with your full forecast.
That's right, and just a few days ago we were saying it felt like summer. Well, now it's definitely feeling like fall, and outside we said it's 60 degrees right now. And looking at our weather radar, we see some cloud cover in the area, but no rain really to be concerned about. Just a little bit of thunderstorms tonight, but going forward, there really won't be any kind of precipitation whatsoever. Tomorrow when you wake up, it's going to be 49 degrees. That's when around 8 a.m. the rain should be clearing up. In the morning it's going to be raining, but sunrise at 7 a.m. as the days continually get shorter. Looking at tomorrow, the high is 61 degrees, the low is 38. That rain right there, only for the morning. By 2 p.m., it's nice and sunny outside, and that's really how it's going to stay. As we take a look throughout the day, 49 degrees if you're an early riser, 59 by the time it gets sunny outside, and then 53 degrees at 7 p.m. 61 degrees right here, that's the high at 4 p.m. Winds are going to be getting more breezy, though, at around 14 miles an hour, 20-mile-an-hour gusts. So just watch out for that. And we see the wind right here really just going south through the entire state of New York at about 10 miles an hour, up to 20-mile-an-hour gusts. All just going south one direction. It's not going to be blowing in many ways. As we take a look at our graph, though, we can tell it's not really going to be raining. After 56% chance of rain tomorrow, it's just going to drop off. And really, for the next 2 weeks, it's not going to be raining whatsoever. Just clear, sunny days, as we see here on our 5-day forecast. 66 degrees, then 70s, and it just keeps getting hotter in the beginning of fall now that we've gotten these low temperatures back.
So all this rain that we're having, David, when is it going to end?
The rain is going to end around 8 in the morning, and then the clouds should clear up by 2 p.m. Nothing to be concerned about.
Thanks, David. So a nice weekend ahead of us.
Definitely.
A major retailer is the latest company to fall victim to hackers. Find out what was lost in the attack.
And music may be the key to getting aid to where it's needed in Puerto Rico. Citrus TV News will be right back.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
IKEA is getting even bigger. The Swedish home goods store bought the labor hiring company TaskRabbit. IKEA purchased the startup for $50 million. TaskRabbit links freelance contractors with people who need work done on their homes, such as putting together IKEA furniture. This is IKEA's latest attempt to increase its digital presence. Whole Foods Market is reaching out to consumers after discovering hackers got a hold of some customers' credit card information. The company did not say how many customers were affected. The hacking only took place in Whole Foods tap rooms and restaurants, which use a different system than the stores. And Whole Foods isn't the only company leaking from the business end. Volkswagen set aside another $3 billion today to buy back cars in North America. The manufacturer admitted to rigging millions of diesel cars to beat emissions testing in 2015. Volkswagen reached a $15 billion settlement with the U.S. over the dirty cars. The company agreed to repurchase cars or compensate their owners.
Following Hurricane Maria, many Puerto Ricans are struggling to receive health care. The majority of hospitals are still struggling to receive power, and the few that do have it have no means of getting the sick the care they need. Medicine for people with pre-existing conditions such as diabetes is in short supply, putting patients at risk. And one singer is lending her voice to help Puerto Rico overcome the effects of Hurricane Maria. Beyoncé released a remix of J Balvin's Mi Gente yesterday. She intends for all proceeds to go to relief efforts in Puerto Rico, Mexico, and other Caribbean islands. The song's teaser video got over 1 million views on Instagram in under an hour.
Coming up in sports, the Syracuse football team battles the Wolfpack in Raleigh. The Syracuse men's soccer team travels to Pitt. An update on Packers wide receiver Devontae Adams. Citrus TV News live at 6. We'll be right back.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome to sports. I'm Christian de Guzman. The Syracuse football team is not taking any moral victories away from its latest loss to LSU. However, Orange fans are more optimistic than ever. After SU kept the game close in Baton Rouge, Syracuse was able to get within 2 before losing to the Tigers 35-26. Despite the loss, the Orange overall surprised and impressed the fans of both teams in the Bayou. Syracuse now travels to NC State to begin ACC play. The Wolfpack are dangerous after upsetting Florida State in Tallahassee. But the Syracuse players know that after last week's performance, the Orange are no pushover.
I mean, it just kind of shows, how much, the strength and conditioning is paying off. People probably expected us to get, rolled over on, but, Coach He's done a great job, and our guys, are pushing people around, so it's good to see that.
Just the fight, we were down early in the game, but, just looking at how the team fought back, especially the sideline communication, just how we were talking, we were believing in each other, and I feel like we did a great job of that. So just the fight, man. We're not giving up. We know that we're a good team, and we're going to continue fighting.
And Syracuse has historically struggled against NC State. The Orange has only won once back in 2013. Orange Press Pass will have your full game recap and analysis of Syracuse versus NC State. The show gets going tomorrow on OTN at 5:30 p.m. And Syracuse traveled to Cameron Indoor Stadium yesterday, but not to play basketball. The Orange volleyball team defeated Duke down in Durham 3-1. Anastasia Gorlenia and Ella Sada led the Syracuse attack with 15 kills each. And with the win, the Orange moved to 10-6 on the year. Next up for the ladies is a trip 80 miles west to Winston-Salem for a match against Wake Forest. And the 7th-ranked women's Syracuse field hockey team looked to rebound this afternoon. The Orange were down in Louisville to take on the 12th-ranked Cardinals. Syracuse is 1-2 in ACC play, both losses coming in overtime. Today, the Orange went to double overtime against the Cardinals. Eventually, Louisville grabbed the victory. 2-1 the final score. Taylor Stone had the game-winning goal off a penalty stroke. And we go to the pitch where the Syracuse men's soccer team looks to right the ship tonight. The Orange has lost 2 of its last 3 games. As a result, they have tumbled in the rankings down to 21. Syracuse travels to play a Pitt team that is not exactly lighting the world on fire. The Panthers sit at 4-5 overall, 0-3 in ACC play. Last time these two teams met, it was a 4-0 victory for the Orange. Chris Nanko and Jonathan Hagman recorded a brace each. Game time tonight is set for 7 p.m. And on the ice, the Syracuse women's ice hockey team gets a historic regular season underway tonight. The Orange begin its 10th campaign all-time with a game at Bemidji State in Minnesota. SU returned 16 players to the team, including senior forward Stephanie Grassi. The Winnipeg native is 4 points shy of 100 for her career. She is currently second all-time for points in program history, and game time tonight is at 8 p.m. And moving back to the pitch, the Syracuse women's soccer team looks for its first win in 20 days. The Orange traveled down south to play 5th-ranked North Carolina. A tough test awaits Syracuse and Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels are riding a 3-game win streak. They are also undefeated in ACC play. To make matters worse for the Orange, the Tar Heels have beaten Syracuse in every single match in the series history. Game time is set for tomorrow at noon. And finally, good news for Packers fans. Wide receiver Devontae Adams returned home this afternoon. He was taken to a hospital after a helmet hit from Bears linebacker Danny Trevathan. The Packers announced after the game that Adams was conscious, but that was admitted to a hospital as precaution to check for head injuries and neck injuries, including a concussion. The NFL is reviewing the play for possible further discipline.
Now, Christian, today is actually the first official day of basketball practice for the college basketball season. What can we expect out of the Orange this year?
Well, it will definitely be a down year for the Orange, especially after losing star sophomore forward Torian Thompson to transfer. It will really be Tyus Battle's team. It will be interesting to see whether he can really bear the brunt of being the main goal scorer or point scorer for the Orange.
Awesome. Thanks, Camden. So, Citrus TV will be right back.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. It's going to get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh, yeah. Yes. So much fun. We're getting so wet.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at CitrusTV.
And find details for these stories and more on CitrusTV.com. I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Josh Rosenblatt. Have a good night, Syracuse.